That's like going to Las Vegas, right? And like you go to whatever strip club there or whatever, right? You pick one, that doesn't have sentimental value, but at the time maybe it does. Sure, sure you go to that, and you're like, you know what I'm saying, and you're like, you should go like $200, right? Because like, you know what I'm saying, you're like, right, whatever, right? And so, it seems like, you know what I'm saying, people try to blame me for stuff that that's like try to blame me for stuff that's already happened since before you were born, you know what I mean? It was going on before you were born, and then when you're like a year old, 1 year old, when you're 1 year old, when you're a year old. Okay, send him files and stuff, give him his office, and let's go ahead and give him the workload or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm almost 5 years old, dude. I just been thinking about stereo and stuff. I still listen to Depressing Tall Hall Notes, dude, because and stuff like REO Speedwagon or something like that, or Alabama or something like that, right? Or the Doobie Brothers, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, dude, this shit is sad, you know what I mean? Because at 40, you guys are racist ass while Las Vegas weather. Talking about, I had an increase in rain, but we're gonna dish you anyway. On top of such and such, when you just throwing out and then attack saying the part of your nationality that's a little different than another part, right? And so attack you. But we got our rain though, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wanted to make that clear to you. We got our rain and stuff like that. And so it's so frustrating to be like, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, you're headed towards self-destruction. Whether you say, oh, that's funny, you know what I'm saying? You're just a buster. Oh, that's funny. You would never be owner of a casino some sultan or something like that, or a czar coming in a ball or something like that, right? And so, sit up here and be like, hey, you know what? Since you're like 5, right? At the time I'm 5, we need answers from you for such and such. And I'm like, dude, they try to do look all funny and stuff like that, and try to patronize you, try to kind of centralize side your ego. Is that what you're trying to say, man? I mean, I know what you're trying to say, but you're trying to size your ego and it means if Vegas can say something like that, it basically gets into war rhetoric of the region, and then people that's not have no honor in common. They say, oh, well, you know what? You're going to be ethnocentrically compartmentalized as a puny person or an irrelevant nationality and stuff like that, and something or other. Okay. And so that's what you have no common honor. This is what we're gonna do to the majority of your people and stuff like that. That's here in the United States and stuff. You're just gonna be categorized as an irrelevant person and stuff like that. Even when in fact you work or something like that, you pay your taxes, and you pay for the taxes of people who don't work, and pay for the taxes of people who don't do anything for centuries and years and years. And so, and on top of that, you get Vegas, and then you have something like Vegas to call you a nerd, call it a nerd alert and such, and be like, call you a nerd alert, and say, you don't know anything to Vegas, you know what I mean? You're just like, oh, you want self-destruction, on top of that, on top of the racist ethnocentricity, fight amongst yourselves, destroy yourselves, and stuff like that. And when you guys work and stuff like that, or you might just we might have 1 out of 20 who sells the PlayStation for drugs or something like that, or whatever, right? For whatever vice, right? And whatever it is, so that's what the main plan is. That's, they're trying to be frustrated. You have to listen to some dude over here in the break room of the 5-star hotel, do a do a mowing water faucet floss because he's at his free lunch and stuff, and he wears black and gold because he works at like the Lux or something like that, right? And like, whereas like and have those people again pin you against you, because they have a hockey team, and that they can outdo the Chicago Blackhawks or something to that effect. Since they pointed it out, right? They pointed out the separation between the nationality and stuff like that, and all this, and you don't have it in you and all that, or just kind of just like make you self-destruct amongst yourself. Make it more, since they can't do it as a whole. They make it more detailed. You know what I mean? It's like a by any means necessary. And stuff like that, and then just kind of, and then from the outside, people from the outside looking in call you irrelevant as well. While all this so-called war times happens or something, or the so-called these steps of acts of aggression or whatever, some acts of whatever, and so that's basically what it is. You know what I mean? So whether you go to, whether you're listening to, everybody's saying a joke, and he's saying, oh, that makes you so, saying Molly Mormon, such and such, Betty Carter's assistant type, and all this other junk. And it's saying it makes you sick, you know what I mean? Because you're like, look, I'm gonna shine. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something else other than what you call it. I wouldn't order that game because you know why? Because it's boring. You just sit up there and drive in circles and stuff like that. I mean, I would buy that game because then you got radio action too. But unless you had a headset, it wouldn't be like worth it. And I'm not gonna invest. Something like that. So I'm finna pull it out night. And so that's it. That's it. So whether you're in Vegas, you had the penny slots or you had the 5-cent slots, and you're like, oh, dude, I'm just out of luck, and like I don't get paid for another 13 days. I feel like on the stage because I'm strung out on, such and such, and I just don't have the slots, and I don't care if you like, all the women, and stuff like that, and like, it's good, I'm from here, and I'm miserable, and like, it usually is the case when you talk to them, like, you know what I mean? You're like, unless you're like a pompous valet guy, and you're like, you know what I mean? And I can have a first-hand experience of that. I'm like, dude, I got a car twice. One like that no more. No, I watch too much Real World. And it doesn't. I get out of car twice, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna just pass the buck on that one. I'm into politics. That's it. Call me night manager. That doesn't move. So what do you do? So that's it. You do a regular is the most common room you go to, and be like, I'm wondering if I can just take a quick glance, and you don't, right? But you cheat yourself, but you don't. Because you had it. If you had it. You don't have much credit, but, you had it, right? You know what I mean? And so, like, where'd you go? I don't know. I was tired of fucking, it was kind of boring. Like, whatever. It's kind of boring. It's not the same old, I don't know you guys. Oh, yeah, right, yeah. I didn't know that. Right, yeah. That's right,
breaking news this morning for you. A strong early morning earthquake shakes up parts of Iran, if you can believe it. Magnitude 4.9 happening near a nuclear power plant in the western part of the country.
Just that situation.
to then